Good morning, this is video 2 of drawing with Donnelly, and as you can see it's looking a little bit grubby now, but this is the video that I made yesterday for you people to watch today. The recap basically was to draw a simple little square to split the side into thirds so that you could work out that it had a 30-degree angle, and then all these lines that came off here were to be parallel to try to end up setting your isometric projection at 30 degrees. Today, rather than have drawings which are predominantly with square corners, I'm going to try to round off some of the sides and edges so that the shapes look a little bit more realistic. So to start off with, I'm going to start by roughing out a simple little cube. Okay, and for this I'm just using a normal 10p Bic pen, one of my favourite pens to draw with, because you can do really faint lines and press on a little bit harder and make them more bold on the page. So I've got now my rough isometric cube, and what I'm going to do is put a rounded curve on one of the edges. So to do that, I'm going to turn my page, start mapping out where the curve will go. And I've got this line here that will allow me to put a curve from this point to this point, and I've done exactly the same down at the bottom. Right, that's like that. And for now, I'm going to leave that like that. So there's shape number 1 with one curve just put on this front corner. Rather than try to draw an isometric cube now, what I'm going to do is to try to draw something which is a bit more realistic. So if I have one horizon line here and put a little cross here and here, if I draw the front edge, which will be this one here, rough out some lines to these points, then you see what I've actually produced now is a cube, but the back edge here is actually shorter than the front, and that is because it's in a 2-point perspective. Okay, so just make these a bit more bold. Okay, so now you can see there I've got one cube which is thinner at the back than at the front, and that's because it's in 2 points perspective. Normally this is how I will try to draw, and I don't put the line here, it's just to give us an example. What I would normally do now, once I've got a rough one at the top corner, okay, just try and rough out the shape like that. So it should be a little bit thinner at the back than at the front. Okay, and now if I go to put a round on here, I will round both front sides, so rough little grid. Okay, and then over here, and this time I'm going to round coming at the back and at the front as well. So rough grid line here, and for the front curve, these little squares, and this is just to map out the radius. So the first one here, and then along the back. Okay, so now I've got the shape that's rounded at the back here and rounded at the front. The next one I'll do something that's got a chunk taken out of it. So all I'm doing is putting a little grid for some construction points. So from here now, curve like this. So this point projects over to here. Okay, and I'll just do one more because I've got a bit of space over here. and I'll do something that's a little bit like a chair. So I'm going to take out a little part here that you sit on. So what I did there is I've drawn one curve, mapped out where the top of the curve and the bottom of the curve start, project that along to here, just to go and copy the same radius around the corner. I'm going to do the same. I think there's a comment on on the first video I did saying, can I turn the volume up on my camera because they can't hear what I'm saying while I'm moving my arms around. As it happens, I find it very difficult to actually talk and draw at the same time, so apologies if you thought you were going to get a lot of commentary. It's one thing or the other, I'm afraid. So I've started off with a quick recap on yesterday's lesson, which was a couple of isometric cubes, working out where to put a shadow from drawing parallel lines coming down off the corners. Today we've had a lesson that started off with isometric, putting a radius on one corner, a sketch in 2-point perspective, and then just roughing out some 3D forms and putting some rounded edges on some of the corners. These are not particular products. This one was a rough idea of a chair, but the rest of them could be any product. It's just that most things that you buy have got curved edges rather than being all square like that. So I'll try and get another one done tomorrow if homeschooling allows. And like, subscribe, write a comment, and I'll try and keep going. Thank you very much.